Afternoon, guys, ladies and gentlemen. It is already Saturday at 5 o'clock. We have spent far too long doing adult homeowner things all day today, so don't even ask. But as you can tell, we did get the lawn cut again. The last time I cut it, I had to cut it so high because it was like an African jungle out there. I had to cut it so high that now it's cut at the normal height. So hopefully that's good for a while. Usually by now it starts slowing up, but seeing that it's been raining like every day, that the grass just seems to keep growing and growing. So a couple things here quickly. This is why I love you guys and I love YouTube. And I didn't even realize, oop, I'm not, the camera's not even pointing. These mounts for the intercooler from the second gen can probably go right on the first gen. So we probably don't even need to mess with any of that stuff. So we might just leave those, unbolt these, and maybe these can just get welded instead of, you know, dealing with that, or even making our own for that matter. Now, the other thing too is the hole diameter on the first gens to the second gens, much larger. They use a much larger bushing, which I realized, and I was like, well, I don't really want to try and drill or Dremel those out. So, you know, that might actually work perfectly. So that'll be something we are going to do today here shortly, and also get these holes drilled. I did get a 5-inch hole saw. It looks like a 5-inch hole saw. It's going to fit perfectly in there. But we do have a couple packages in mail time, so let's do that shortly here. P.O. Box, always down in the description if you want to send love mail, hate mail, whatever else. I actually already opened this one up because I thought it was something else, but here we go, here we go. This is from our buddy John Dock, the Camaro man. I don't know if you guys are into cars or whatever. This is mostly diesel truck, but go check his channel out. I'll put it right down below. Greg just wanted to send you Camaro T. Great seeing at the YouTube call out. He has a really nasty 5th gen Camaro, I think it is. Turboed, all that nonsense. That I was really looking forward to racing him. Probably the fastest car there, and he probably would have spanked me, but we'll see next year because we are going to race next year. If you're heading to North Carolina, make sure to find me. Here we go. Camaro. I think it's honestly a pretty cool name. There you go, there you go. We'll make sure we get all of his sponsors in there. Cool, thank you very much, John, I appreciate that. We did send him some Wrenchworks stuff as well. So on to the next. Okay, never mind, this is not P.O. Box material. This is Wrenchworks returns. Exchanges, I should say. So, all right. Thanks, John Dock, for the only mail time. P.O. Box always in the description if you want to send anything. So we keep walking back and forth, but I also did forget to mention, hey, look at what we got off. We got the damn pump gear off. So we got some new bolts, help from a little bit of heat. I don't know if that thing was Loctited on there or not, but that thing was, and I've taken a pump gear off before. I know what they should feel like. That was on there good. We ended up out. That's still hot. That is still very, very hot. But we did end up using the Blue Point snap-on puller. I had to get some different bolts, seeing that we tweaked a couple sets and given it a little vibration therapy with some pressure, with some heat, giving it some taps. It did finally pop. So this thing hopefully does not get hot enough to damage anything behind there. It was by no means even changing color. So a little bit of heat, a little bit more patience, and we're good to go. So now we can pretty much pull this pump off and send this baby out. I think we're gonna end up sending it out. That's just more fun anyway. We'll get it like maxed out and flowed and benched and blah blah blah. This is P-pump talk that I honestly have no idea. All I know is CP3 and laptop. So we're gonna get some help with that. We'll figure out the fueling setup for that, get that sent out, and the pump swap will probably be coming a little bit later on down the road. It still hasn't even gone through its first VP horsepower bump. So coming down the road. Alrighty guys, well, we have hit our first snafu here. The holes we drilled are perfect, but this intercooler, and I know they did mention this in the description, they have the pipes that come out, they actually make them a little bit longer. So what is happening is the length of that is basically now hitting that first part of the fender on the first gen. So here on the other side you can see as well, that one is a little bit better. Basically just lands right on that first part of the fender. Now, here's my two options, and what I've been thinking about this for a little bit here before I flipped on the camera. So now, yes, if you look down here, there is that support piece that you really can't even tell. This whole piece of the fender up in here, I could basically lop that kind of right out and you really wouldn't even be able to tell. Now, the length of these pipes that come through the grill support and into here, I could also pretty much chop back right to here or even back to here. I think I'm going to end up needing 45 coupler. So if I had a 45 coupler here, that would basically start shooting up the angle, you know, much sooner back here than all the way back here, which might alleviate all of my problem without even trimming any metal, which is honestly preferred in my opinion. It's going to take a little bit more weighting to get them. But if I could chop them, here we go, if I could chop them back and then not have to worry about cutting the metal on the first gen, honestly, I would rather do that. Also, right now, you can see that the intercooler is kind of at an angle, so I can't really put that in there. Height-wise, I'm pretty much all the way up. I can't really move it up any either, so this is an oversized second gen, which also makes it a little bit more difficult than just a normal second gen. So I'd also like to do is have the cylinder head on and, you know, get the charger in here and kind of get it orientated to kind of see where I'm at angle wise to get down to the intercooler. Alrighty guys, so disregard everything that I just said. Just got off the phone with Johnny Sendit, which again, doing great by the way. He actually just got cleared. He had his first doctor's appointment and got cleared to drive. So he's good, and the gas dodge is back up and running. So he now has a vehicle and can drive. So just in the back brace for activity, and he's good to go. So was talking to him, and what I think we're going to end up doing is, if I just chop somewhere back here on an angle and kind of mimic this pipe to kind of route up, I can actually just re-weld in one spot right around that pipe, modify the intake pipes kind of halfway through, and then kind of have it angled so it automatically comes up in the route. Basically kind of comes up this way. It's, you know, it's really hard to see, I understand, but kind of just modify the actual outlets of the intercooler itself and kind of just chop it and have the pipe kind of come up at the angle that I need. That is probably, that way I can also keep this rolled edge and just use 3 to 3 straight couplers for that pipe. So charger sitting here, I'll have that pipe basically kind of come down right to here in a straight shot almost. So I think that is the plan. So basically what I need to do now is, you know, yay, more fab work, but find out the angles that I'm going to try and cut these at and get them all fabbed up and hopefully not ruin it. Alrighty, so we got the nighttime x-ray vision on. Got the ends chopped off both sides, and where are they? I got each side here sitting on each side. Now I got it in there. Oh, and I also, not that you're gonna be able to see these, I can't even see them pick them up. So I got these tabs shortened up, and with them shortened up, they pretty much fit here perfectly. So I just gotta clean those up, and then those can get welded onto the actual grill support. Those are gonna work out perfect. So I'm really happy with the way those are gonna work. Those are gonna work out great. I just kind of need to get the intercooler in there and situated with the welder ready to be tacked. And then also on the side ears, those are going to be pretty easy. I can just run bolts kind of right through here. Actually, now that I mention that, I'm going to have to relocate that. Or actually, I can put a bolt from behind. So those aren't going to be too bad. I can get the intercooler mounted. Now, as far as finding the angle, what I'm finding when I do push the intercooler in, it does give us enough room. Oh wow, that's really dark. But basically what I need to do is get the head on, get the turbo on, and then kind of figure out the routing of my pipe before I start making the angle. I know that I want it kind of pointing up towards the turbo, and I've done so many of these second gen swaps that I know the outlet's going to kind of be, you know, kind of right in this area, but I don't want to like really guess at that. So I really need to mount the intercooler, get the head back on, and also for the intake horn, I really need to get my intake horn, my new intake horn, and kind of find the angle of where that's going to be coming, so I can then angle the intercooler directly at that, and maybe even use just a straight pipe right there. But I'm not really sure. I'm kind of almost guessing at the angle of the intercooler on what the angle of that is. So yeah, we're getting, Greg is definitely getting a little, I wouldn't even call it flustered. I wouldn't call it flustered, just feeling maybe just a tiny bit under the pressure. So really, I guess, and maybe I didn't even explain this, but our next event that me and the crew and Johnny Send It are planning on being at and racing at, if possible, is on the 16th or 17th. It's XDP Englishtown Raceway Park Nationals. It's a big truck show, a pickup truck show at the same time. It's a pretty big event. So the whole plan is to try and get both of our trucks done, scrap truck and pap scrap done for that event. Hopefully racing, we'll see how far we get. But John doesn't even have an engine in his truck. We have a lot of fab work to do on this truck, and I think the event is 3 weeks away at this point. I'm not really sure. So I'm getting a little tiny bit overwhelmed and under the pressure with the kind of fab work that we're doing. I don't do a lot of the welding fab myself, but I do a lot of the fitment and get it ready for our man Russell, the Ford man. So it's going to be a lot of coordination, probably a couple late nights, but you guys are going to go along the ride with us. But everyone's probably thinking like, oh, 3 weeks, that doesn't seem like that bad of a deal. But when you think about it, each day that passes, each weekend, Shide is this weekend. I'm not really sure. I'm going back and forth between going to Shide, coming out this weekend. John said that he would come out with me, go to Shide, but then that's a weekend that we lose, and now I'm gonna have to look at the schedule. I'm talking out loud, but this is kind of the thoughts that go through Greg's head. Greg's head and mind are constantly at about 100, 120 miles an hour. So we got a lot of stuff to think about. I got a lot of stuff going on besides that. And just, ooh, what's that? What did he say? Woo-sa. 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 All right, so we got to just breathe. We're losing daylight. Today's pretty much done. I might come back out here, mess with the old 12 leaker. I didn't say 12 liter, I said 12 leaker. Like a 12 valve, but it leaks. 12 leaker. Oh boy. All right. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, hit that like button before you leave. Subscribe if you have not already. More action coming at you. I still, in the worst way, want to get this thing completely torn down. We are also running out of space in this garage. There might be a plan in the back of my mind for the lack of space in this garage. So stay tuned for that, guys. See ya. We'll see ya.